Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it is for Sunday, the 19th day of July. Here we go. On the day of Tisha B'Av, you're not allowed to wash yourself basically at all, except for the few small exceptions we're about to state. But basically, no washing on the day of Tisha B'Av. You're not allowed to dip your feet into like just a wading pool or something. You're not even allowed to dip your hands into a wading pool. That too is something that you're not allowed to do on Tisha B'Av. If, let's say, your hand becomes soiled with something disgusting, then you could just wash off that soiled spot on your hand. That's allowed. Okay, that's not washing for pleasure. That's just to get a disgusting soiled thing off of your hands. You can just wash that spot. In the morning when you wake up, the usual morning of washing of the morning is allowed to be done, and but you're only allowed to wash your fingers basically, but not the rest of your hand. That moisture that's then on your fingers, you're allowed to pass that over your eyes and just have that little bit of moisture go over your eyes on the morning of Tisha B'Av. If you have a little bit of eye crust, I guess you would call it, little, flaky things on your eyelids, you're allowed to wash them off because that's considered like a soiled area, and you're allowed to wash that off of yourself on the day of Tisha B'Av. Also, you'll only wash your fingers when you want to wash your hands for davening or when you want to wash your hands coming out of the bathroom. Same idea, you can do the Netilas Yadayim thing, but only up to your fingers and not your hands. Okay, if you're going to be eating, of course, after Tisha B'Av and someone's preparing the food and they need to wash off the whatever that's going into the post-Tisha B'Av supper, you're allowed to wash off that stuff because you do have to prepare food for after Tisha B'Av. It does have to be washed and your hands are going to inadvertently get wet. That's okay. That you're allowed to have happen. If a person has to wash for medical reasons, then yes, it is allowed to be done, but he should discuss that with his rabbi so he knows what's considered a permissible medical reason and what isn't. And if you want to take a wet vessel and just put it against your side of your face to cool you off or something, so that's something you're not allowed to do on Tisha B'Av. If you want to stand in front of an air conditioner, by all means you could do that, but you can't take a wet vessel and have that condensation just go against your face to cool you off. But you can stand in front of a fan, in front of an air conditioner vent, and you don't have to feel guilty about that. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.